Do you sometimes feel out of the loop? My name is Dan, and I'd like to help you get past those feelings of being in the dark. The world is changing every day, and so is the way information is being distributed in the world around us. Not so long ago, the only way to get your daily fix of the news from around the United States and the world at large was by picking up your local newspaper and reading its contents. The invention of television made your local news at noon, 6, and 10 o'clock the easiest way to keep informed. This was then followed by the invention of the Internet, where once a story was finished being written, it would immediately be uploaded for reading, eliminating the need to wait for your news program to come on or your newspaper to be printed and distributed. The newest form of media distribution comes in the form of social media. Twitter currently is at the forefront of distributing the news you are interested in, as fast as picking up your phone or turning on your computer and checking your Twitter feed. Not everyone uses Twitter, but the numbers are growing daily. Currently, there are more than 554 million registered users on Twitter who account for over 58 million tweets a day. A large majority of those tweets being in the form of information about companies, celebrities, sports, news, and consumer goods that are delivered much quicker than their former counterparts that I mentioned before. Do you ever feel like you are less informed than the people around you? Perhaps you've heard about something that happened, but know nothing about it yet because no stories have been posted, and you've not been able to read or watch anything about it yet. This can be quite frustrating when you are in a group of people who begin a conversation knowing most of the details of the story, while you are left listening and wondering how they know all of this already. Being informed quickly in the world today is important, because oftentimes when full stories or news stories are posted on the internet or television, it can be old news compared to the amount of information that may have already been disseminated in other mediums. News is being put out every day, as they happen, that may never make it to your favorite news station, website, or newspaper. If you are not connected to your world in the ways that are now gaining steam, you may miss important information and be left behind. Twitter is the answer to staying one step ahead in the information age. There are thousands, if not millions, of news reporters, sports reporters, companies, reviewers, celebrities, government agencies, or public safety figures tweeting out information as they get it daily, with no wait to receive the information. When big news stories break, or new information is gathered, there is almost always guaranteed to be someone on Twitter breaking the news as it happens to be the first to get the information to the masses. You wonder where your favorite sports figure is leaning towards signing? Analysts have information from sources that they share all the time up to the minute. And if it doesn't come from them, it may even come from the mouth or keyboard of the celebrity themselves if you are following them closely. Customer service and information is delivered with up-to-the-minute updates. How long will my internet be down? Odds are the information is on Twitter already, and if not, will be shortly. If you hear sirens blaring in your area, checking the timeline of your local police department often can clue you into the gathering of police cars near your local bank. Being fully aware of your world can be achieved simply by finding and following those you feel will inform you the best. The world of information can be catered to your needs with little customization. Some examples to prove the point. Are you curious what your favorite celebrity is thinking about news that just broke? When the news of George Zimmerman's verdict came to Twitter, almost every celebrity posted some kind of opinion on the matter. If this is something you're interested in, you can find it on the feed of your favorite figures. The example above is one of my own favorite actors' feelings on the death of his fellow actor, James Gandolfini. In the area of news, information can be gathered almost immediately. An example of how quick information is given on Twitter: while I was watching the NFL draft this past April and following along on Twitter, there were certain reporters that were able to report from sources who was being picked by what team before the commissioner ever got to the podium to announce it. Now this type of quick information kind of spoiled things for me, so I stopped reading them. But there are people out there that this would make very happy to see how quickly they can be in the know before everyone else. In the examples above, Adam Schefter reports on the training camp injuries and his thoughts, while CNN breaks news stories and links back to their own webpage for readers to view. This example shows how they link their own stories after breaking the news, but if you were to check their timeline, there are other tweets with no links that break the information formed for this story as it happens, keeping you up to date as you could be on the situation. A good example of this would be when the Boston Police Department and the federal agents assisting them were searching for the Boston Marathon bombing suspects. News agencies kept everyone informed of where and who the searches were focusing on. This was especially helpful for those in fear in Boston of what was going on around them. Information is power, and knowing the noises around you are from those there to protect you can be very comforting. Bottlenecking has been a thing for as long as I can remember. What is at the root of this? People want to know what is going on around them. We are inherently curious as human beings, whether it be for our own safety or just to know something we don't. Following your local police department and sheriff's departments can provide important information about what may be going on. For example, if I had been driving past the canal near Alma School Road and Bass Pro on July 23rd and saw all the police officers at the scene, I would be curious to know what happened. By checking the Mesa Police Department's Twitter account, I would then know that there was a body found and they were working to preserve the scene to find out what happened. In this case, my curiosity would be quelled. Or perhaps you are leaving your house to drive across town, but you want to make sure that your 30-minute drive doesn't turn into a 2-hour gridlock. Checking with your local transit department via Twitter can be a quick way to find out what roads and freeways to avoid. Information about delays, crashes, police incidents, and even road construction is updated every hour to make sure people know exactly what is going on before they get in their cars and find it the hard way. Another great bit of information that can be found on Twitter is what is happening with services and products that you pay for. Twitter has a wealth of customer service and information Twitter accounts for all the companies that you use. If they don't, they will soon, as it has become almost a must to have when trying to be competitive. By following Cox, for example, I knew exactly when I was able to access all the ESPN channels I paid for through my phone and tablet via the Watch ESPN app that was made available to be signed into by them on July 28th. Also, like the example on screen, I had an internet outage that I took to Twitter and tweeted about my frustration. Not expecting anything to come from it, I was pleasantly surprised when I received a mention from the Cox Help account wondering if they could help me find the problem. After tweeting back and forth for about 15 minutes, they found that one of their technicians had turned off the service briefly while working in my area and had forgotten to turn it back on. They had him drive back out immediately and restore the service, and my internet was back up within 45 minutes. I must say it was nice to have the help, when in the past I would have had to schedule a technician to come to my house days later to try and troubleshoot. 45 minutes was very impressive, and this type of customer service is happening on Twitter all the time. Information you never knew existed, or in the past had to wait for, is right at your fingertips. The only way to be on the cutting edge of connectivity in this information age is to use the Twitter service. Customizing your follow list to include everything and everyone that you care about, you can always be on the forefront of information that is available. Being networked into an evolving world where information is constantly being shared will change the way you understand what's going on around you. And quite possibly, the next time you're standing around the water cooler, you may surprise your colleagues with the information that they had no idea about. The truth is out there, right now. Go find it. Thank you for your time.